Let me see what you have invited to come and do.
Yes.
This is blank, and this is all right. You are invited to come, someone to appear before the Human Rights Violation Commission, such and such a day, such as an hour, as you may be called there to give evidence respecting the inquiry into the conduct or affairs of what? I don't know. This is blank. If it's just the inquiry, then inquiry is our terms of reference.
There is what?
All right, we consider all those things. No, I just want to finish with it, so another man will. I want to, so that we can go along instead of coming back to ask you questions.
Very well.
So when we finish, then we go to another with.
Melod will not finish with me when you finish asking the questions. If you say finish me, then it will be extinction.
No, what I'm saying is that I didn't want to all the senior advocates to address before I take up point that
very well, Melod.
A bit foggy in our mind.
Very well, Melod.
So that we clear all the fogs and
very
all
well,
the cobwebs.
Yes, Melod.
So that when we are writing a ruling, we know what we are writing about. So you are saying they can appear by proxy. Witnesses can appear in spite of sections 5C and 10. They can appear by proxy. That's by counsel.
That is correct, my Lord.
That's what you are saying.
If you look at section 5, it does not say from whom you get evidence. It's get evidence that documentary or oral that can help the commission make its recommendation.
The section 5 talks about coming to testify.
Material evidence.
Coming to testify. That's what
material evidence.
Material evidence.
Yes, sir.
You said come to testify.
Yes, sir.
It is when it comes that we know.
Constitution says don't issue in the first instance.
Nobody can read this. It's not easy to read. All right, then. Thank you very much.
Very well. I thank the commission.
Who is the next SAN?
Mr. Chair.
SAN? All right, all right. I thought we deal with SAN first.
Okay, if the aliens want to do it,
just hold on. Let's finish with the SANs.
Okay, of course, ma'am. Go ahead.
My Lord, I did say, and honorable members of the commission, I did say earlier on that I am not in this matter, but my client is concerned and connected with this matter, in the sense that he is required by
We will
this.
hear you. Don't make it. We will hear you. In fact, anybody among the learned gentlemen who want to give us any help, we will accept the help. Go on.
I do not want to belabor your lordship and honorable members of the commission. I want to go directly to the effect of section 5 subsection C and section 18 of the Tribunal of Inquiries Act, vis-a-vis the provision of section 36(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999.
Go slowly, go slowly. This is very important. Go slowly, please.
I'm very
The
sorry.
effect of section 5C
Yes, my lord.
and
Section 18
section 18
of the Tribunal of Inquiry Act, Cap 447, Laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1990. Vis-a-vis the provision of section 36, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I think I respectfully submit that in this regard, it is the second question that is of fundamental importance.
That second question is what?
Can counsel to such a person be allowed to cross-examine witnesses to the commission if he he himself does not appear.
Yes.
I watched with keen interest your Lordship calling for the summons. And I think, in my respectful submission, that is the kernel of the matter. I would give an example, my lord. If, for example, the summons says, YXZ, come before this honorable commission to answer allegations made against you by witnesses to the commission, PQR. Can that person say, Counsel, look at this. Have a look at the summons I have been given. My answer to these summons is not in what I will tell the commission myself. It's in what you will ask all those persons mentioned in these summons. It is in what A, B, C, D, who are not yet called by the commission, would tell the commission. In those circumstances, my lord, what useful purpose will the presence of that person serve before the commission? I concede one important point, and no one can run away from that, that your lordship has powers under Section 5C and Section 10 to punish any person in Nigeria who does not come before you. But that is besides the point. The heart of the matter and the kernel of the matter is, if an accusation is made against any person in Nigeria, can that person not be represented by counsel to cross-examine the witnesses to the commission who perhaps made allegations against him? I listened with rapt attention to my learned friend, my boyhood, my childhood friend, Ganifawa SAN, who submitted that your lordship should disregard the provisions of Section 36. Of course, he knows what he was saying. If I come before you,
What does 36 say?
the right to fair hearing. He says, in the determination of his civil rights and obligations, including any question or determination by or against any government or authority, a person shall be entitled to a fair hearing within a reasonable time by a court or other tribunal established by law and constituted in such a manner as to secure its independence and impartiality. I submit with utmost respect that your lordship's tribunal is such a tribunal, and that the right to fair hearing is enshrined in the Constitution. Fair hearing includes not only the presence of a person summoned to reply to allegations, as in our case, in the case of General Abdusalam Abubakar, because his own summons says, you are required to bring with you the following books, documents, or other things. That is to say, all relevant materials, particularly to enable you respond to the allegations against you. My lord, that is very important. We require you to come before us to respond to the allegations against you by the commission's witnesses, namely Lieutenant General Ishaya Bameyi, Brigadier General I.A. Sabo, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, and Superintendent Zadok, relating to the death of Chief M.K.O. Abiola, In this case, that is what the man summoned is required to come and do. And he says, my counsel, these are the facts. Ask Brigadier Lieutenant General Ishaya Bameyi these questions. Ask for permission of the commission to recall him. Ask him these questions. Ask Brigadier General Sabo the following questions. Ask Major Hamza Al-Mustafa the following questions. By the time you finish with them, the commission will not need me at all. Is that not a possible situation? My humble submission is that that is possible. And in the defense of his rights, General Abdul Salam Abubakar can do just exactly that. He will still be acting within the bounds of fair hearing. My learned friend submitted to your lordships, and this is very important. He says, once you refuse to attend this commission, according to this summons, you cannot be heard. I was waiting for his authority on this point.
He gave many authorities. Maybe you didn't write them down.
No, I wrote them down. I wrote his submissions down.
He gave many authorities.
You see, he said any
But,
person.
if you are in contempt of a court, you can't ask favor from the court.
My Lord, I am grateful. He said, amongst other things, that once you are in contempt, that's the end of the matter. But your lordships have said in Odogu and Odogu that, look, the right to be heard, even when you are in contempt, will not be taken away completely from you. And my humble submission, what is even more, I think Section 5C contemplates such a situation when it talks about, when it talks about subject to all just exceptions. And I say, I submit with profound respect, my Lord, that the situation I have described earlier on is such a just exception where a man's defense to allegations made against him lies in his obtaining admissions from the witnesses to the tribunal. He can then, in that situation, ask counsel representing him to crave your lordship's indulgence, to recall the witnesses to the commission and cross-examine them. That is his defense. Because the summons says, come and reply to allegations made against you.
Can you compare and contrast the summons under Section 5C and the ordinary summons in a civil case?
My Lord?
Have you got a copy of an ordinary summons in a civil case? See if they're the same or they're materially similar, so that the authorities quoted may or may not be applicable.
My Lord, my first submission is that they are similar, but there is a difference.
What is the difference?
The difference is that your lordship is empowered by law to summon a person under Section 5C.
Unlike civil case where witnesses summon.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very vital. Now that we admit that the commission has power to summon.
No doubt about that. I concede that.
That is not in dispute.
No.
Section 5.
Yeah.
Now, do we restrict the summons or the evidence when they come to what is in a petition, or do we go to what is in our terms of reference?
My Lord, your lordship must look at the summons you issued to them. Your lordship must give meaning and effect to the summons you issued to them. Because that is the only thing they have to go by.
Having come, having obeyed the summons, can we ask questions relating to the stewardship of all this during the tenure of their office? Can we?
My Lord, your lordship, we seem to part ways there. Because if your lordship asked them to come and respond to allegations, as in our case, allegations made by some of the commission's witnesses. The question that follows is, are they entitled? Do they have the right to recall the commission's witnesses and cross-examine them? Will that not be the litmus test of
that
fair
has
hearing?
never been in dispute. The dispute is, will they have that right if they refuse to obey? It's not for you have a right to cross-examine. You have. Everybody has been cross-examining. The only issue is if the principal parties refuse, party in quote, because no party here, they're all witnesses, refuse to come, will they sit down and say, go and cross-examine them for me?
Will they not, my Lord, I submit that they will be entitled to do so because that will satisfy the principle of fair hearing. Whereas, if your Lordship says, I'm sorry, my Lord.
I don't know whether Mr. Pambo is aware that in spite of the court's order, we did write General Babangida that he may, if he so desires, respond. We did. Are you aware of that?
Yes, my lord.
Mm-hmm. That's reposing the question of fair hearing.
Yes, my lord.
Good.
And we responded.
Yes, we did ask him.
Yes, sir.
He can write us a letter.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. So
In
that
fact,
answers your question.
In fact, that letter was signed by His Lordship.
So that answers your question that we did even write to General Babangida in view of the court's decision that you can't come. We are not asking you to come. But it will be unfair to you if the commission makes any recommendation in the absence of your responses. So we sent him that letter. That confirms what you are saying. Whether they come or not, they can respond.
I'm grateful.
Having agreed with you thus far,
Yes, ma'am.
what about our terms of reference? What do you think of them?
They are very wide, my Lord.
Very, very wide.
Yes, my Lord. And encompassing.
They are wider than any petition.
Yes, my Lord.
Good. Do you agree with our suggestion that people who were the helms of affair will be the most likely people to help us determine some of these terms of reference? You don't?
My Lord, that is a very tricky question. It is a very tricky question.
Well, let's leave law alone. Let's tricky alone. In the spirit of reconciliation, can you have two people who don't want to meet face to face reconcile? They have to meet and talk before you talk about reconciliation. And our main job is to try to reconcile those who have been injured and those who thought they were injured with their alleged or supposed. You see, if we are working towards reconciliation, as many other commissions in other parts of the world, they didn't adopt a legalistic approach to reconciliation. We'll be discussing law and this country will be burning, like Nero fiddling while Rome was burning. And you all at the bar have a big responsibility to help us succeed.
My Lord, as I was saying, my Lord, anyone confronted with these summons, the summons in our case,
We've agreed with you there, but I raise another issue, looking at our terms of reference. are these erstwhile executives, top executives, not those who help us answer some of the questions, whether they were mentioned in a petition or not. You don't want to answer that one?
That is a question blowing in the winds. It is tricky. It is tricky in the sense that
all right, then. We'll go to another one. Anyway. Have you finished?
My Lord, that in the main will be my argument in favor of appearance by counsel in respect of General Abdusalam Abubakar. And I want to say, my Lord, that...
All right. Suppose we agree with you. What about appearance by counsel in respect of other things mentioned in the commission? What happened in each man's regime? Will you answer that?
That will not be dealing with the exercise of your powers under Section 5C.
We can go outside that. Under Section 5, not A, not B, Section 5 alone.
Yes, my Lord.
Read it again. The power to procure
Yes, my Lord.
all such evidence,
Written or oral?
written or oral,
Yes, my Lord.
and to examine all such persons as witnesses, as the tribunal may think it necessary or desirable. Now we say it is necessary for every head of state to come and tell us what happened during his regime. Not whether delegate or this or that. No. Generally, what happened. And also, if you look at the other terms of reference, to help us make recommendations as how to forestall these things happening again. That is our headache. If we do not ask them to help us, we will be guilty of treating this commission with levity. They're the only people who can tell us that it will not happen again. Adopt so. But if you say we can, they haven't even. Yes? What do I write? A trickish question.
Trickish in the sense that it does not deal with the summons which my client
I've agreed with you there that he will come and give evidence only as directed by the summons. Yes. But if the commission decide that they may get more from him, are we disbarred from asking more from him?
Until we get there, my Lord.
That is why we want him here. All right. Yes. Let's hear another SAN.
Very well, my Lord. That will be my submission.
Thank you, ma. So what do I write? That is a trickish question.
No, what I want your Lordship to write, with respect, is that that question does not apply to my client, General Abdusalam Abubakar, in respect of the summons he has.
All right. Yes, another SAN.
My Lord, I'm of the view that it is not mandatory for a defendant to appear. Let's say, for example, now, sir, that there is a plaintiff. He will start his case. Indeed, he doesn't have to be in the witness box.